Hey, what's the best budget linear switch? So I'm new to the keyboard community and I've recently just discovered it, and so I'm looking for some budget linear switches which I'm not gonna lose. I've narrowed them down to I am looking for a smooth and funky. Hi guys, I would really like to create my very first linear keyboard. I do like yo Cherry MX Browns are linear. Okay. So look, right, I've been wanting to buy and more budget build switches and board for a while. Gateron Yellows.
Gateron Yellows seem to be the age-old answer to the age-old problem. You want lube linear feels, but you don't have lube linear money. The Gateron Yellows come in 5 different variants, all of which are some kind of combination of the transparent, white, milky, or black top and bottom housings. That can be commonly found in the other housings of the Gateron and Cherry Clone Wars. People do report that there are some differences, particularly in sound with the milky housings compared to transparent houses, but I'm reviewing the one that seems to be the most readily available. That is the one with the transparent top housing, black bottom housing, yellow pom stem. So, concerning how they perform, they are decently smooth. It's like middle of the pack, right? They're not like, but they're not bad. It's good. It's kind of hard for me to tell you about how smooth they are in any way that actually means anything to you, so I'll do this. They're definitely smoother than Milky Bottom and Clear Top Gateron Reds, but they're not quite in the same league as Creams, which are not as smooth as Gateron Inks. Is the difference in smoothness something you'll feel when typing at speed? If you've used smoother switches before, yes, probably. Will you grimace in pain using them compared to Gateron Inks? No, it's not that bad. Great thing about them is that they take to lubes very well. I lubed a bunch of them with Crytex 205 to test it out, and they were buttery. They were buttery. I did use a thick lube, but I'd say they got to around just underneath the kind of smoothness of Gateron Inks. The thing that made Gateron Yellows really stand out to me wasn't the smoothness, it was the spring. I would go as far as saying these are probably the best weighted springs that I've used in any switch so far. There are a lot of different sources saying they actuate at this and they bottom out at that, and the measurement of these kind of forces is an absolute shambles, right? Nobody knows anything. I went with the switches.mx weighting for these. They actuate at 55 grams at 2mm and bottom out at 63.5 grams at 4mm. The thing that differentiates them between other switches is that they have a relatively slower increase in resistance on the downstroke compared to other stock switches. This has led some people to describe them as slow curve switches, which is stupid because it's still linear, it's not curved, but okay. This makes the resistance feel more constant throughout the downstroke compared to other switches that start out lighter, say 30 grams, but bottom out at 65 grams. So in pressing them, you feel a very peaceful increase throughout compared to other linears, which are more like a sprint for your life. I personally really like this. It means that I can use a switch which is still fairly light on the bottom out, 63.5 grams is not that heavy, but because it's starting at a higher initial force, it doesn't feel so light. So, they're decently smooth, and the spring weighting is great. How do they sound? Well, can we talk about the springs again, please? Okay, I'm gonna say this once. Everything in the keyboard world is preference. And now onto my objectively correct opinion. They sound very high-pitched and kind of annoying to me. It's, especially the upstroke, it's not a nice clack. It's kind of plasticky, but I think describing sound is kind of dumb, so I'll let you listen to them and decide. 3, 2, 1.
Bruh.
So, Gateron Yellows, what do they offer? They're decently smooth, the spring weight is great, and they appreciate really well when you lube them. It's not top tier by any means, but it's still a well-performing linear. Will I be using Gateron Yellows? No. I think I've made it very clear to which faction I swear loyalty to. Tactical Gang Rise Up. But that being said, and a very important but, I've left something to the end that doesn't directly review the Switch and its characteristics, but to not include it specifically with the Switch would be evil. Here you go. Yeah, budget king.